Happy Saturday, West Texas, and welcome to the Connect Show. I'm with my business bestie, Shauna Garcia and Christy Joe Lightfoot. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, so excited for today's show. So you at home, as you know, Saturdays are all about success for us. And we have a variety of girl bosses that are going to be stopping by today. And we're just talking about stepping into 2021. I've heard women say they are strutting into 2021. However you get there, let's just all get there to 2021. And today we're talking a little bit about preparedness and trusting your gut when it comes to business and the new year. So what are you ladies focusing on as far as being prepared for your businesses in 2021?
You know, I think if nothing else, 2020 taught us that you have to be prepared for the unknowns. And so just systems and being proactive, setting goals ahead of time, getting your business plan in action, and really just having that consistency in that schedule, as always, I think will help us.
You know, I'm working on planning ahead. I've always been really good at it, but this year it's been a roller coaster with just like planning things ahead. And so that's what I'm going to focus on right now and try to prepare for that.
Well, I think this year has proven that we are stronger than we know. I mean, I think that more and more people have told us that. What are some of the systems, like I mentioned, systems are important that you're going to use as motivation for the year ahead to keep you focused?
You know, I love having systems in my business that just make everything easier. You know, a customer comes in, my website, they buy something, I'm sound asleep, they get everything that they need to know. Those things are amazing. And luckily I have a lot of that set up in my business. But, you know, just making sure that anything that I launch going into the new year is going to be set up that way. And I think that's going to be important, obviously, not only for my business, but for a lot of businesses, you know, going into the new year, it's still going to be, I feel like, you know, January is going to be probably a lot like December as far as 2020 goes. There's not going to be a lot of changes. So just making sure that, you know, I can also help my customers make sure that they have those systems in place as well.
I'd agree too. And, you know, systems, I think we all over the year at the masterminds and just as we listen to other women in business as well, we continue to hear about the systems that you need for success. And so that's something I'm really trying to commit to. And, you know, we set these systems up, but a lot of times we don't utilize them, right? For me, it's the weekly accomplishment sheet. It's writing down my 6 most important things in the evening and making sure I'm scheduling myself and giving myself buffer in between, and delegation, you know, I'm doing that more than ever now. And it's so important to just be willing to say, you know what, you're good at this. We'll do this and you be great and come back and we'll visit about it after you're done. And then trusting that that person, you know, that you choose to work with can do it, right? You wouldn't work with them if you didn't think they had the ability. So I think those are just some of the things that are going to help me stay prepared for the new year and keep me focused and in system.
Well, something you've done, Natalie, that I think was great was that whenever you would share your calendar, you made sure you're with whomever you're working with, whether it be us or a client or whatever. This time to this time is your personal time. That time to that time is their time, or whatever that is. But I think that blocking and sticking to it really helps us to deal with stuff like, say, 2020 and COVID. No one was prepared for that. But with our schedules, we can get complacent when something like that happens. But if we have our schedules in place, it still helps us to maintain some kind of normalcy.
Yeah.
In the event that something weird should happen again, hopefully not ever again. But, you know, it's just that I think schedules and systems really help us just stay focused on our business and not get distracted.
Well, coming up next, Jeaneen Pruitt is going to join our conversation, and she shares why her purpose next year is to be the solution everywhere. I love that. And also coming up is this week's tech tip with Kat. But first, here's today's Minute with Marcy.
Welcome to this week's Minute with Marcy. Today I want to discuss plasma technology. This is our Neogen plasma device. Plasma technology is unique because for the first time we can simultaneously resurface the outside of the face or the skin while tightening from the inside out. When this tip gets close enough to the skin, it causes an arc that allows that simultaneous treatment. From the surface, it's going to lightly singe the surface of the skin like creme brulee. It takes care of even vascular issues. It's hot enough to take care of your vascularity, discoloration, minimizing pores, as well as just resurfacing the skin overall. While from the inside out, we're using a fibroblast technology that thickens that really healthy layer of skin inside that feeds the surface like Miracle-Gro. So as a byproduct of thickening that structure, we are actually tightening the skin. And so again, for the first time, we're able to do so many things in one procedure. It's very exciting. We also have a plasma pen. Think of this as the big paintbrush for here to here, and the plasma pen for that little fine-tipped paintbrush to get those little details knocked out. It's the season for plasma. There is a little bit of downtime, 5 to 7 days, which we have time for right now. We look forward to seeing you.
Good morning. This week's tech tip is about the importance of doing technology reviews. Now, minimum, I tell my clients to do them once a year, but preferably once a quarter. Now, there's a couple of benefits to doing technology reviews, and benefit number one is that technology is always changing. So this is the opportunity to find out what's new, what's available, and what's changed. The other thing is, it's an opportunity to look through the suppliers that you have now, figure out what promotions you have, and when your contract is up. When you know when your contract is up, that's the perfect opportunity for you either to renegotiate your contract with that supplier for either additional features or maybe a faster speed internet, or basically look at what they have to offer now. It's also a great opportunity that maybe when you signed that original contract, they were the only supplier that offered that, but there's other options available to you now. And last but not least, it's the perfect opportunity to look at what you have, what's working for you, what's not working for you, and what solutions may be out there to help you with that.
Well, welcome back to the Connect Show, and welcome back, Jeaneen.
Hey, hi.
Thanks for being with us. I was so happy to see you last week sharing your real estate tip, and just happy to have you on the show today. We are going to talk a little real estate and a little girl boss magic, as today we are talking about being and staying and getting prepared for 2021. And your goal next year is being the solution. And I love that. In real estate, you're obviously seeing a little bit of everything. We were visiting before this interview, and you're seeing people grouchy, you're seeing people scared, you're getting divorced, but they continue to push through. So how are you juggling working in this atmosphere and preparing for your own success in 2021?
Well, that's a great question. I think number one, I try to take it nowadays, especially just one thing at a time. So first things first. I'm really good at planning ahead, and I do plan, and I have a plan in place. But on a day-to-day basis, I just want to make sure I'm flexible, I guess is what I'm saying, that to juggle. Because in order to juggle, you have to be flexible for the unknown. I think the other thing is I have to stay focused. What's job one? And job one for me is, like you said earlier, is just be the solution. Every person that calls me has something they need to be solved, whether it's a real estate agent or a lender or a title company or a client. And my job is to see what can I do to bring a solution. And I think that keeps me in a real positive mindset, especially nowadays.
Jeaneen, I know anytime I've worked with you, I always feel like even though we may be from different offices or on different sides of whatever the transaction is, I always felt like we were a team. And so coming from that perspective, I know that you have your own specific team, kind of like your own little family within the big family. How do you keep all your members motivated, positive energy? When you do have to have those scary conversations, how do you bring it back to that and still maintain all that wonderful energy that your team always exudes?
Well, for me, I like to keep things simple, right, Kiss? Keep it simple, silly. And so I think, what does my team need from me? And I think being clear on what my husband needs, my children need, and now we're talking about my real estate team, what they really need is a leader. They need somebody who's actively in the business, has answers within a margin, because I'm human, and is out there and there to solve their problems. So I think availability, professionalism, enthusiasm is really part of it. And then another component we don't like to talk about as girls is I have to say the uncomfortable things. But I don't say them until I know I can say it in a way that's going to be positive. I'm going to tell you the truth in love, because I know going to be detrimental to your success. And that's what you're really trusting me with, is your success in your career. And if I blow that, I mean, what do I have?
Oh, you're amazing.
Yes, you are. That's right, Shauna.
I love that. Say it with love. I love that.
Love it. Sometimes, love has a tone. But the bottom line is, I think they trust. I think that's a really big thing. They see that you have their interest first.
Mm-hmm.
I think would be really important. I check my motive. What's my motive here? Is my motive because I'm insecure and I need to rule and reign? Or is my motive that I really want that person to succeed with me or without me? I still have their best. And I think that motive, they'll receive. I'll receive from anybody that I know genuinely cares about me.
Yeah.
That's so true. So true, Jeaneen. Life, as we know, especially this year, can be up and down, but so can business. How do you know when to pull it back a little bit?
Well, I would say pull what back? It just seems like there's no real pulling it back. There's purposeful times where I'm going to maybe put my phone on silent or on do not disturb. But I mean, to be really successful, it's just game on every day, all day. And then delegating, like, we talked about a few minutes ago, let's delegate tasks. I definitely have staff. I have to have staff to keep things going. I travel with my husband, but there's not one day that I don't work. I mean, I work every 365 days a year.
And I think that's why it's so important that you love what you do, because when you love what you do, it's not work. It's not work because you can't wait to go hop on the line and talk to that client, or you can't wait to go and work on this project or go edit that show, or, any of the things that you do. And that just goes back to finding your passion. Your passion will bring your purpose, and it makes it so much fun. So watching you has definitely been a treat, watching you grow. And, you base a lot of your actions or reactions on what you call your internal knowing. What tips do you have for other leaders and women in business to trust their gut, trust their internal knowing, as you call it?
Well, I think the factor is, Natalie, that you have to have an awareness of who you are. You have to be willing to tell the truth to yourself. And so when my gut tells me something, I go back to those truths. And for me, they're biblical in most cases. Is this who I want to be? Is this where I want to go? When I'm not here anymore, is this what I want to be said about me? And then I check myself first. That sometimes takes a while, but that internal knowing always serves me well, because I'm constantly checking my motives, constantly apologizing, admitting that I was wrong, admitting that I've blown it. But I also have a track record of when my gut tells me something and I listen, how did that turn out? Well, now 20 years of it, I know I can trust it. So it takes time, Sometimes my quick temper might be like, but I've learned now in 20 years, that's not my first phone call. So that's taken some time to trust my gut. I think proof is in the pudding, to put it simply.
Well, proof is in the pudding and in numbers. So let's just give them a little bit of a real estate stat. What is Midland Market's days on market right now?
Well, it's somewhere between 80-ish days, Shauna, depending on, what report we pull.
Mm-hmm.
145 listings with about 298 under contract. So there is movement. Rates are low, helping us. But it's taking a bit longer. You're like I am. It's the marathon, not the sprint.
That is true. Well, before you leave us today, I know that we are going to be highlighting one of your properties. So do you want to give us the address for this weekend in case somebody wants to come by and see that property?
I am. It's 4904 Rustic Trail. It's one of the properties in Green Tree North that has a guest house and a 5-car garage. That's not easy to find if you're looking for something in Green Tree.
Nice.
That's right. I love it. Jeaneen, we love having you on, and we can't wait for you to continue to bring your real estate tips. And, I want to share a fun fact. Jeaneen and I have known each other for so long. She's one of the very first people I met when I moved to Midland. When I was the morning news anchor on ABC 2007 to 2010, Jeaneen would come on my show back then, and we would talk about real estate tips. And her website back then is the same as it is now. And isellmidland.com. And I'm just so proud of you. And I love that I get to work with you. I know the girls feel the same. It's so fun. So fun. All right, Jeaneen. Well, keep up with the JP team again at iSellMidland.com. And if you are a mom with a little, you won't want to miss this next guest. We have the cutest matching kids pajama sets that are perfect for your holiday pictures coming up next. But first, Kim Cohen shares this week's pick tip.
Hi everyone, and happy Saturday. I am Kimberly Cowan with Kimberly Cowan Photography, and today we are going to be talking about tips on what to look for when you are shopping for professional photography services. So first off, what kind of photography are you looking for? Are you looking for a specialized photographer in newborns, or are you getting married? So you would go look for a wedding photographer. Are you needing family pictures? Go to a family photographer. So you're going to want to do your research and find out what kind of photography are you needing, because everyone photographs different genres and does something different. So definitely something first to look out for when you are shopping for your professional photographer. Next off, what you're going to do is do your research. Do you like their art? Do you like what they're producing? Does their style speak to your soul? Is it something that you're going to be able to display and love for many, many years to come? So it's definitely important. Do you like what they're producing? Do you like their props? Do you like what they use? So do your research and find out what they do. And then also delivery. What are you wanting to do with your pictures after you get them? Are you wanting them for social media? Are you wanting them for announcements? Are you wanting wall art? Do you want to hang it up in your home to display proudly? Will your photographer help you with that? So definitely something you need to research on, and then, do the follow through. What are you wanting to do with your pictures afterwards? Because a good photographer will definitely help you all the way through the process. So thank you so much for joining me this Saturday, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Well, welcome back to the show. Lauren James is checking in from Lauren James Children's Company, and she's showing us the cutest trends. She has so much right behind her. You guys take a look. Cutest trends for kids that are under 10 years old this holiday season. So welcome to the show, Lauren.
Hello.
Work and play, right? Work and play.
Yep.
Lauren, your stuff is so cute. I know I saw a few things behind you a while ago when we were talking before the show. So darling, I would love to know, I don't have kids, so buying the children in my family is always really hard. So if you could help me out and tell me what is popular for kids this Christmas, I would appreciate it. And I'm sure a lot of people out there would as well.
So everybody always loves matching Christmas pajamas. They love getting pictures of their kids in their little matching pajamas. We have the bamboo pajamas are just super popular. So we have some different prints, and we have some that are just specifically for boys. And then we have some that are for either. We have this, it's candy canes and mistletoe, and it comes in a boho nightgown. And then we also have this print, which has been super popular. It's got it reminds me of the Starbucks coffee cups with hot chocolate. And we have it in the zippered footy. We also have it in the 2-piece set and in the nightgown. So we have lots of different brands of Christmas pajamas. Those are super popular. Also, I would say 2 of our best-selling things lately, we have the Glow Pals. These are so fun for kind of different ages. It's got like a little ad above it, but you throw these in the water and they light up. They're kind of sensory toys. And what I love about them is they light up when they're submerged in water, but as soon as you take them out of the water, they go off on their own to preserve the battery life. So I don't have to go behind my kids and make sure that they turned them off and, the battery's not running down. So we have a Christmas one, we have yellow, and we have red. I think it's a nice way to kind of help your kids wind down at the end of the day. They can just kind of hang out, and you can turn the lights down, and then they see the different colors and play with them in the water. It's just relaxing to them. And then the other thing that has been a major hit lately, we have these warmies right here. These are little stuffed animals. We have the clownfish that looks like Nemo. We have this little dinosaur. We have a moose, we have a husky, a tiger. We have some different ones, but you throw these in the microwave for 30 seconds and they stay warm and they're lavender scented. So they just help them relax for bedtime.
Yes.
So, and then we also have the booties for moms, the little house shoes, and same thing. I'm always freezing at our house, so my husband freezes me out. And so anyway, the slippers can just be thrown in the microwave and then they're warm for an hour.
Well, Lauren, that is all so much fun. And I don't know about you guys, but with COVID especially, there's been a fine line between yoga pants and pajamas. I don't know if sometimes everybody changes. I don't know if I always change in between the two, but comfy pajamas are always a big topic, and I think everyone loves them. What are specifically what you look for when you go to buy them for your store?
So really and truly, bamboo is everybody's favorite because it is temperature regulating. So what's interesting about the bamboo brands is they use the same fabric all year. They may change the prints, season specific, but it's the same temperature. It's the same fabric for all year long.
I think you're leaving us with a little treat today for our viewers. What did you want to share?
Yes. So if you come into the store or if you leave a note when you check out online, which by the way, even if you're local, you can order online. Everything that we have on our website, unless it were to say pre-order, is what we physically have in our store. So if you're local, you can choose in-store pickup or we deliver to Midland, Odessa, and we ship. So if you check out online or you come by the store and you mention the Connect Network, we are going to give you a $20 gift card for every $100 you spend.
Lauren, thanks for joining us. We're going to take a very quick break. And coming up next, celebrity publicist Keita Williams is back with more on how you can be your own brand builder. But first, Victoria Printz shares some goal-setting tips you can incorporate right now.
Welcome to the Connect Network, where we bring you girl bosses month after month after month at our masterminds. If you are ready to expand your circle, join the Connect Network's membership today.
All right. Well, Victoria Printz is stopping by for her marketing minute today, and this is going to be good. We are talking about, as you know, preparedness and starting off strong in 2021. So, what do we need to know to start this year coming up off right?
Well, it's going to be a great year. So positive attitude, I think, is important. But as far as setting yourself up for success, any of us need to really assess where are we today? Where do we want to go? And then the bite-sized pieces to get there. For an example, a real estate agent might say, I want to make X amount of dollars. You can throw it out into the universe, of course, but there's a more organized way to get there. So then we would say, well, if your dollar amount goal income would be divided by your average sales income. So if you need 50 sales to make that goal, how are we going to break that into 12 months? Some of those months are busier. The spring and summer months are going to be a little busier than the beginning and the ending of the year, typically. How many cold calls do we have to make to get one showing? How many showings do we need to make a sale? How many sales do we need to make our goal? And just break it down into literally, you can do it by day. I have for years done handwritten notes. While I was sitting on hold, I would write, okay, I need to write 10 handwritten notes each day or each week. And everybody knows a real estate agent or somebody that's looking for a real estate agent who is going to come to mind. It doesn't have to be a long dissertation. It just has to be, hello, thinking of you today and hoping to see you soon, hoping all is well. Just a friendly note is one way to make up a contact. So how many contacts do you have to make, and how many hours a week do we sit on hold while we could be just doing that if we had that at hand?
So Victoria, I love it. You're going to be back next week with more tips on marketing, and everyone make sure you sign up because we're sharing a little bit about goal setting in person via Zoom on the 15th. More on that coming up next. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
Hey, it's your fave publicist and brand architect to the stars, Keita Williams right here. I'm back. But listen, last week we got a chance to talk about my tip number 1, which is all about being your own master builder, right? It's about bulldozing your brand and remaining authentic in your own lane. But I bet you guys are wondering what step 2 is. Move a little closer. Well, step 2 for me, since I work with a lot of celebrities, is all about branding their brand, right? Whether I'm working with celebrities from your LL Cool J to Rihanna to Brandy to Mariah Carey, Neo, you name it. I've worked with them all, and they're all different brands. So trust me, being authentic is important. But step 2, listen, step 2 is about being intentional. So put your hard hat on. Let's decide how we're going to be intentional, right? So when you're being intentional, it's about laying your foundation. Your foundation is your brand. That's what it is. It's your brand. So in laying your foundation, you want to make sure that your brand is intentional where it is. So if your foundation is being laid, you don't want it to be laid on mushy, squishy, unsolid, unstable ground, right? You want to make sure that it doesn't fall apart, that it doesn't collapse. Or for some people, you want to make sure that your brand is selling. You want to make sure that your followers, that your fans, that your clients, that they're all steady, right? So step 2 in being intentional is this. It's all about engagement, right? It's all about making sure that you are being authentic in that space where you're laying your foundation. So as I tell my celebrity clients, 2021 is looking completely different than it has before. So in being intentional, it's all about the conversation you're having with your fans, your followers, your clients, right? So let's shorten conversation and make that into CONVO. That's CONVO. The C stands for being connected and consistent, all right? O is for being organic, right? Being authentic, but you're organic. The N is for natural, right? Your fans, your followers, they all know about whether you're being true to them. So it's all about your own natural ingredient. And we're virtual. That's what the V stands for. 2021, it's all about making sure that you are tapped into those platforms, and it's about being virtual. And as long as you're into those platforms, make sure you know that being consistent and connected, organic, natural, virtual, that's important. That will lead you to those opportunities, right? We all want those opportunities. We all want that door to fly open for 2021. I know I do. Trust me when I tell you, I am in the process right now of having my hard hat on, laying my foundation, being authentic, which is step 1, and being intentional, which is step 2. So make sure when you're having your convo, being connected, consistent, organic, natural, virtual, your opportunities will come. So, as I said before, I can't wait to see you guys back here next week. I'm going to share more tips with you on how to be the leader in your own lane.
Well, if you're goal setting for 2021, you won't want to miss the Connect Network's virtual events coming up next week. And Victoria's Printz is going to be showing you how to shut down December by setting yourself up for success. And of course, Brandy Bell is going to be talking about goal setting.
Yes.
You can register for both of the events at theconnectonline.com. Make it a great Saturday, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Pull up, girl boss, and join the show. That's right. It's time for your 5 minutes of fame with the hosts of the Connect Show West Texas. Yes, every week we bring in one VIP influencer to bring the magic. Register today at theconnectonline.com.